Hello and welcome, beautiful souls, to my channel, Light of Shaya. My channel is all about illuminating the spiritual path forward and bringing you uplifting messages of love and light. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Welcome to those of you who are new, and welcome to those of you who are returning. Today I'm doing one of my daily messages from Spirit. As you know, I'm trying to keep up. For those of you who have been watching me for a while, I've been trying to make sure that I keep these things daily. I haven't posted the one that I recorded yesterday, but that will be uploaded later on today, or in this case, when you're watching, that will have been yesterday. So isn't that interesting how you're watching me give you these readings at this time? And I'm communicating to you at my current time, but when you're watching this, it'll be on your own time. This is kind of a good example of what 5D is like. 5D is interconnectedness. You know, it's beyond the three-dimensional space that we live in. There's just a sense of, geez, that plane was really loud. Sorry about that, guys. So the planes go right up above my neighborhood here because of where the airport's located. But anyhow, as I was saying, this is a good example of what 5D looks like. 5D is interconnectedness between people, unspoken communication, even at times, you know, telepathy, all those cool psychic things that people think we're crazy for talking about, for those who are unawakened anyhow. That isn't to say there's anything wrong with them, because I don't want to create this you versus them mentality, because that's very egoic in nature. But anyhow, this is what 5D looks like. And that's the beauty of the internet. We are all interconnected through the internet. So the more the internet grows, the more connected we become as human beings, and the more attuned we become to each other. And soon, what ends up happening is that we create this herd mentality. Now, sometimes this could be destructive in nature, but other times it's similar to like a flock of birds, where they're all interconnected through their thoughts. I think it has something to do with the magnetism, the magnetic field that their brains all pick up on. And in a sense, that's kind of where we're all heading towards as a species. Now, obviously, we're not going to see that for quite some time, and unfortunately, I'll be long dead before this happens, but this is the beginning of what that looks like. And soon, well, not soon, but soon in terms of cosmic time, which would be like maybe centuries, there will be an evolution here on planet Earth that unfortunately I will not be able to see as much as I would love to. But anyway, that's a pretty interesting message that I had to channel here. So let's see what Spirit has for us today. I'm using the Sacred Traveler Oracle cards here. Okay, look at that. We have Wondrous Universe, Walk in Beauty. This is the final card in the of the Sacred Traveler. The beginning of a new cycle. Oh, interesting. We have two cards. Gates of Triumph fell right behind it. I didn't realize that. I'm pulling from the bottom here. Bottom of the deck, we have Journey by Moonlight, Believe in Magic. Just want to make sure you guys can see that here. Looks like you guys can. Okay. Wow, you guys. So this is a very powerful reading already from Spirit. And interestingly enough, I had a moment of clarity today that happened to just pop into my head. Now, I'm going to share with you this because I feel the need to, because a lot of the times when you guys watch these tarot readers, the spiritual leaders, they don't share with you the journey. And they share the journey, but the idea of the journey with everybody, you know, like the general concept. In my case, I like to be a bit more personal, and I like to give personal examples because there's a sense of interconnectedness and understanding that comes from it. I've been dealing with some very heavy energy these last 5 or 6 days, very down in the dumps. I'll share with you that even what was it, maybe 4 or 5 days ago, I didn't want to get out of bed. I was feeling very lonely, very depressed. I don't suffer from depression. I used to because of my past, and I victimized myself and all that. So it was very difficult for me to get out of the frame of depression, because what ends up happening is the pain body begins to take over control. And when the pain body takes over control, pain becomes addictive, and it actually does release dopamine in the brain. So it's very hard for people who are depressed to get out of that, because it's almost like the sadness becomes addictive. Eventually, after enough resistance, there's two unfortunate options, or one of them is an unfortunate one. Some people will give in to alcohol, drugs, ways of numbing themselves, and or suicide, frankly. Of course, that's the heavier option. The other option is that release begins to happen. There's a sense of releasing these mentalities, these ideologies, these victim mentalities. And the reason I'm sharing this with you now is because I have gone through that journey in the past. And in particular, like I said, a few days ago, I could not get out of bed. I didn't eat for 48 hours. I was feeling very, very sad, very lonely, very down in the dumps. And eventually I started to recuperate little by little, but the mind is such a powerful thing. It's a tool that we're supposed to use to co-create with the universe and plan ahead for ourselves, so that we can continue to bring down these spiritual energies and funnel them into our physical reality to manifest things. But sometimes what ends up happening is the mind starts to take control, and it becomes, instead of the tool that we end up using, the tool ends up using us, which is very destructive in nature. It's kind of like a fire conflagration. It's something that gets out of control, and we end up becoming consumed by it. This is why mindfulness is incredibly important, and this is why that sense of clarity came to me today. So some of you may have felt an energetic shift of some sort. I certainly did. It was like all of a sudden the Eight of Swords energy that I was sitting in. For those of you who are familiar with the Eight of Swords, it's a person who's wrapped up and bound between 8 different swords, and they're blindfolded. And this particular card demonstrates that you hold the capabilities of getting out of this victim mentality. If you notice, the strings that were binding you were actually not taut. I don't know if you guys know what T-A-U-T, taught, not taught as in teaching. They're not firmly wrapped around you, basically. I just felt I had to make that distinction because taught and taught sound the same. But anyway, the idea here is that we can actually release ourselves from this victim mentality. And I just so happened to come into that clarity today. It was almost like I had made myself a victim of the universe, and I realized that this was all in my head all along. Like I said, I like to be transparent, and I like to share with you guys the journey, because these are the kind of steps that we have to take for ourselves, to learn and recognize what is the pattern. What is the pattern that I continue to, or the cycle that I continue to allow to keep myself in, right? If you're attracting third-party situations, for those of you who are single, if you're attracting abusive partners, and not necessarily like physically or even verbally, like people basically who don't treat you right. I think that's basically what I was going at. The issue here is, and if you are dealing with an abusive relationship, please do whatever you can to get out of it. There are resources out there. You know what? I'll have to look up some of these resources, because I feel some of the people who watch this channel may indeed struggle with that. I don't know why I'm getting that energy strongly right now. But where was I going with this? Right. What are you attracting into your life? And what pattern are you maintaining that allows this cycle to maintain itself? Because you can break yourself free. Journey by Moonlight here, believe in magic. When you start to believe in magic, look at this card here. We have uncovering treasure beneath the surface lies great bounty. When you believe in magic and look within, you'll realize that you have all you need from within. Everything that you could ever need. You are likely, if you're drawn to this channel, you're likely a healer of some sort. You're likely, and healing, the healing arts come through various ways. I mean, some of you could be in the medical field, doctors, nurses. Some of you could be creatives. So tarot readers like myself, or musicians, artists of some sort. That is a form of healing people. When people see this, when a being of light, as we are, light workers, come onto this planet, what ends up happening is we end up being called. We go through some very hard experiences, very difficult experiences. We're very down in the dumps. Life seems to work against us, and these are all lessons, unfortunately, that we have to learn in order for us to step into our power. And look at this here. We have 3 cards that came out. Self-esteem at the bottom of the deck. I possess gifts of the soul that benefit me and others. Was I not talking about this? Your light, when you share it, it not only helps heal you, it helps heal the world, the collective. And this is the energy we'll be stepping into soon here. Look at all these cards. There's nothing but beauty coming through here. Open your heart to joy. Rainbow blessings. Blessings are showering your life. You guys are on the verge, a viewer. If you're watching this, you were drawn to this particular reading. These are all timeless. You are on the verge of a breakthrough here with the Gates of Triumph. It says here, success expands in your life, followed by infinite abundance. Abundance is pouring into your life. And then with the Wondrous Universe card here, it says walk in beauty. Now, there's a few things that I'd like to touch on regarding this, but I feel like I've been chatting enough. But the idea here is that we do have control over our lives, believe it or not. And if we can't control our circumstances, we can control the way that we react to certain situations. Now, once again, being transparent, sometimes I don't behave in the ways that I should. And I'm very much well aware of that. But awareness is the first step in the right direction. When you can identify a destructive pattern that you have, whether it be you indulge in mind-altering substances a little bit too much. Now, I'm not going to say that it's bad for you to do that. I think altered states of consciousness exist for a reason. I'm not somebody who advocates being completely clean or anything like that. I believe that altered states of consciousness do bring some clarity to certain situations because it puts you into an altered state. But some people might lose themselves in this, in sex, drugs, alcohol, those kind of behaviors of repeating this. Sometimes we get addicted to victim mentality and allowing ourselves to be consumed by our thoughts. Right? So it's our responsibility to be aware of it, because the moment you are aware of what's going on in your life is the moment that you can take control of it. Because now you know, I see you, I see what you're doing. No more of that, or at least trying to get yourself to the point where you can say no more of that, because sometimes you see this pattern and you see how daunting it is to take on and you don't do anything about it, but little by little it's going to start eating away at you because you know what the next steps that you have to take are to remove that obstacle. So from the Soul's Journey Oracle, we have acceptance. I am learning to accept the things that I cannot change. That is really in congruence with what I was talking about when it comes to our emotions. We can choose how we react to certain circumstances. That is our power. That is one of our greatest strengths, is how to react to certain situations. Now we have friendship here. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. So some of you may be dealing with a friendship of some sort, somebody, some sort of connection that showed up into your life that's there for a reason. It's likely teaching you some sort of lesson regarding radical acceptance and success. I know that there is no greater goal than to love. And that is a very powerful statement there, because abundance comes in various forms. Now, one of the last spiritual lessons to learn on the spiritual journey is how do you take the spiritual nature of the universe and ground it into reality? In other words, how do you take that spiritual abundance that you have and bring it into the material to manifest the things that you want? Once you can do that, you're unstoppable, and you become part of the universe, and you start to embody your true nature as a soul, as a form of pure consciousness that is in connection with the divine. So let's go ahead and see what this reading is about. I'm going to do a shortened version of the Celtic Cross here. We have the 9 of Wheels. How appropriate. So a lot of you, if you're not in this state right now, you soon will be entering this state of independence, of being able to rely on yourself, work on yourself, and really, oh, I love how she has a rooster. So for you guys who don't know, I love chickens. There's something about chickens that I absolutely love. They're just the sweetest little creatures. I've always wanted a chicken. And one day when I have a backyard, I intend on rescuing one from some sort of sanctuary. And I decided I'm going to call her Henrietta. I don't know if you guys caught that, but please don't leave. Anyway, so a lot of you are becoming more independent, more self-reliant. You're starting to get into this space of you're right at the end here of the gates of triumph. It's this, you have one more pentacle to go until you reach your financial stability, your financial foundation. Here's that Eight of Swords talking about the victim mentality. I just so happened to cut the deck there. But one other card here, the Wondrous Universe, talking about walk in beauty. So one of the things that you need to start practicing most definitely is gratitude. Gratitude mindset is very important. It's very important for you to be grateful for the little things, because oftentimes those little things are indeed taken for granted. For example, if you are watching this, the mere fact that you're able to either use a phone or some sort of technology to view this is a great amount of privilege. Most people around the world don't have that privilege. What else? Running water, for example. You likely take running water for granted. Hot running water. Some countries have running water, but not hot running water. So I just kind of want to bring this awareness to you, because once you start practicing gratitude for the warmth of your bed, for the fact that you have clothing, that kind of stuff. Look at that. I was asking what the obstacle was for you guys, and look at what card came out. Eight of Swords. It was almost as if I was channeling that message about the victim mentality. Your obstacle right now, between your abundance and walking through this gates of triumph. See, this card here represents the walled off garden. And I'm seeing here, in a sense, this is the steps out of that garden. Or towards the garden, really. Because this looks like this is your Eight of Swords here. You see how dark that is? The mentality there. And then look at what awaits you at the end here of this journey. Infinite abundance and a wondrous universe where you can co-create with the universe. But so much, wow. What do we have for past energies here? We have the Five of Wands, some sort of conflict. This could have been an internal conflict, or likely a conflict with somebody. You may have gotten into some sort of argument. Some harsh words may have been exchanged. Hopefully not a physical altercation. And if it wasn't with the person, it is likely a struggle that you've been dealing with internally. For the way that you're moving forward towards the situation, we have Temperance. Temperance is about patience. It's about alchemizing and transmuting energies. It's about bringing balance, balancing yourself. Temperance is my divine guidance card, so likely a lot of you have angelic presence in your life. What is in the subconscious realm, or what we're not seeing here for our viewers? Interesting. So I have two cards that are wanting to come out. I'm going to take the Five of Swords here. The Five of Swords here speaks of, in a sense, self-sabotage. And this really does work in conjunction with the Eight of Swords. Now, what are you self-sabotaging? I would say with the King of Wheels here, instead of this being a person, some of you could be dealing with the person that you argued with or fought with the Five of Swords. But I did ask what was in the emotional realm and kind of what was going on in the subconscious mind and what you're not seeing. With the Five of Swords, this is self-sabotage sometimes. I'm seeing it as self-sabotage. It's pride, it's ego, and it's trying to beat others into submission. This is a very destructive thought pattern to have, because the idea that there's winners in an argument is absolutely 100% wrong. I've said this before in other of my videos, likely in my last messages from Spirit. I did say that it is important for you to recognize what it is that you want for the outcome of an argument. If you're looking to beat your opponent, so to speak, into submission, then you're coming at the argument from a very wrong space. And this is actually very destructive for yourself and for the person that you're dealing with. Now, if you're looking for mutual understanding, that is a completely different story, because guess what? That is actually going to help you progress in life, because you're going to be able to effectively communicate with your friend, partner, family member in a way that you can understand them and they can too understand you. Now, if this person isn't giving you the time of day, if this person is really just looking to win the argument for themselves, then guess what you can do? Walk away from it. Say, okay, well, I understand that's how you feel. I'm done, basically, right? You have control. You can stand up for yourself. It's okay if you do. What do we have for the near future? Okay, we have the Seven of Cups. Some decisions needing to be made, I see. Several different decisions. So a few of you out there, I'm getting, may be having some difficulties choosing what line of work you want to do. If you have a creative project of some sort, or there's just generally a sense of confusion. I'm actually going to clarify this in a moment here. But let me pull some cards from the bottom of the deck in just a moment. Cut the deck and pull. Okay. Look at this. Wow. We have the Seven of Wheels. So it looks like you guys have been investing in something, being very patient. This seems to be a common theme here of patience. Maybe some of you are getting very frustrated. Two of Wands here. In this particular deck, the Two of Wands has two rams butting heads. And it's almost, in a sense, maybe there is a friend in your life or somebody in your life that you've been butting heads with, so to speak. There's likely some argument that you guys had that may have caused some sort of confusion, wanting to win, that kind of destructive pattern. Now, interestingly enough, though, I am seeing a coupling here. We have King of Wands, Queen of Wands. These two cards are the entrepreneurs, besides the Empress and the Emperor, of the deck. There may be some sort of collaboration that you're going to be doing with this person. This could be a union of some sort. I'm not seeing Two of Cups, Four of Wands, or anything like that, so maybe that's not the case. Maybe this is a friendship that is actually very beneficial for both of you. There's a lot of potential for growth. You may be communicating with this person at a distance with the Eight of Wands. This is messaging, calling, texting, that kind of stuff. I'm going to go ahead and clarify the Seven of Cups now because I'm a little bit curious. Okay. Okay, we got the Five of Cups and the Page of Cups. It is likely that, I see, yes, okay. Somebody may have made some sort of decision or couldn't see things clearly when they made a decision. And interestingly enough, for those of you who are dealing with the soulmate connection, you see how there's the Five of Cups here, and we have the Seven of Cups. So if you subtract... For some reason, I'm getting that sense. Subtract the two that represents Two of Cups. Two of Cups is the soulmate connection. But somebody may have made a decision to walk away from something, or they may have made a decision. For some of you, there's somebody who's been drinking and feeling very lonely and lost. For some of you, that could be you. This could be a person that you're dealing with. This could be a friend. Now, I'm seeing with this card here, somebody may have made some sort of choice because they weren't seeing things clearly, and this left them feeling, in a sense, at an emotional loss. If this hasn't happened yet, this will be happening within the near future. This person may come in with an apology here with the Page of Cups. They may be very flirtatious in nature. They may be very... what is the word that I'm looking for? It's almost like a sense of, not naive, although this card could represent naivete. I'm getting more like the sense of this person is very dreamy. That's the word I'm looking for. Very dreamy. They kind of have these dreams or idealistic points of view. As I was saying that, the Fool's at the bottom of the deck. So somebody who's very dreamy. Maybe somebody wants to take a leap of faith in a new direction, wants some sort of new beginning. But it looks like somebody is going to be feeling rather defensive about this. We have the Seven of Wands here. Somebody standing up for themselves. Somebody not allowing somebody in, or not allowing this pattern to repeat, whatever it may be. And likely this is what this brand new beginning is about. Very interesting. Okay. Oops. Lots of cards wanting to come out here. We got the Six of Pentacles here. So somebody, this may have been a situation where there wasn't equal give and take. There may have been some moment of clarity here because we did have the High Priestess come out. Some sort of intuitive knowing. The Moon is also at the bottom of the deck. Somebody may have had some sort of realization. I don't know why I'm getting that strongly right now, but let's go ahead and take a look at the present energies. I'm going to go ahead and... where are our viewers at? I'm using so this is the Golden Wheel Tarot for those of you who are wondering. I like to tell you guys what it is, so in case you guys ever want to buy these cards, there they are. One of my favorite decks. I really love the colors and the theme here. But I'm going to be using the Mystic Mondays cards to clarify the Nine of Wheels and the Eight of Swords, because I think this is very interesting. Of course, kind of curious about where you guys are at in the present, or the energy you will be stepping into. And then with the Eight of Swords, what can be done in order to remove this blockage, essentially. Nine of Wheels, please. What do we have for Nine of Wheels? Okay, we got one. Nine of Wheels, please, Spirit. We got Two of Cups. Interesting. There's that Two of Cups. I had a feeling. And bottom of the deck here, I'm going to pull from here. Oh, look at that. So I was going to just clarify this, but then we got some messages from the bottom of the deck here. Two of Cups. Soulmate connection. Some of you may be dealing with the soulmate connection. Remember, soulmate connections aren't always romantic in nature. This is maybe why the friendship card is here instead of the relationship card. So some of you may have a friendship. Remember, guys, take whatever resonates. If there's something that resonates, then take it. Feel free to. If you're dealing with a love connection, then so be it. You know, that's up to you to determine. We have the Eight of Wands here. Somebody wanting to communicate. Somebody may have become more independent, more self-reliant, and as a result now, this may be bringing in a soulmate connection rather rapidly, or this is a person from the past, because I did see the Six of Cups earlier at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, there's some sort of cycle that has come to an end with the Wheel of Fortune here. Some sort of cycle. There was some sort of lesson likely that needed to be learned. Some of you could be dealing with the Sagittarius. We do have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius with the coupling of the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands here. And we have more Sagittarius, interestingly enough, with the Temperance card there. So heavy Sag here. And the reason why I was saying past connection is because I was guided towards pulling the Moon. Somebody's been hiding certain secrets or keeping certain things to themselves, certain ideas. This card speaks of the unknown, of deep emotions, of intuition and fears, secrets. Interestingly enough, here is that Eight of Swords again. This is coming through very heavy. So if you're dealing with this victim mentality, it's very important for you to analyze why that is. What is it that is holding you back? What is it is it the past? Because we do have the Six of Cups here. Like I was saying, it came out in the Golden Wheel, and here we have it again. There is likely some sort of connection that you've been dealing with, a past life connection, a soulmate, or somebody that you know that has been keeping you in likely feeling afraid. This could be your person too, feeling afraid, feeling there's a sense of victim mentality here, I fucked up kind of thing, or something like that. I don't know why I'm getting that strongly. What is the Eight of Swords about? Okay, Hanged Woman. Queen of Wands, Fool. Nine of Wands at the bottom of the deck. Okay, so the way I'm reading this is you guys are going to need some sort of clarity regarding some sort of situation that comes from within, not from externally. This is likely the breakthrough that I had today. You guys have to come into this breakthrough for yourselves now. Queen of Wands, recognizing your power, recognizing how charismatic and beautiful you are, because you are, okay? There's a sense of a need for you to step into your power again, viewer. What mentality have you been allowing yourself to hold on to? Is it because you're tired? Is it because you feel like everything that you've been doing in life has been a struggle? I've been there before. I completely understand that. But remember, if you maintain this mentality, I'm seeing here's the possibilities that you're going to bring into your life. Two of Wands is about manifestation. If you maintain this mentality, you're only going to bring more Five of Wands energy, conflict, and Five of Pentacles. We have two cards about five. This means that there needs to be a transformation. There needs to be a change in the mentality that you have that may be wrapping you into that self-victimization. It is time to stop and move in a brand new direction. With the Fool here, there's a need for a brand new direction for you. What else do we have here? Any more messages from Spirit regarding this reading? The outcome here. Clearly, we have the Gates of Triumph, infinite abundance. So some of you may be dealing with the Leo here, because I just got the Strength card come up. We have the Moon, so some of you may be dealing with Pisces. Lots of fire in this particular spread here. Okay. Six of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. We have Four of Cups. We have Strength. Seven of Wands. Give me just a moment here while I look at these cards. There's a need for contemplation here on your behalf. There's an opportunity that is awaiting you. There's some sort of opportunity that you have with the Four of Cups here. I'm seeing this as an opportunity. There's some sort of opportunity that's been trying to make its way to you. But there's some sort of defensiveness here. Once again, this is the second time the Seven of Wands has come up. What are you guys feeling defensive about? Okay, so there's an opportunity for you that you're not quite seeing. And I think this has something to do with this blocked mentality that you have, this victim mentality. It's almost as if the universe is trying to hand you something, but there's a sense of defensiveness around it. And with the Strength card here, I'm getting the sense that this is going to take a lot of strength on someone's behalf. If this is you, viewer, or a person that you're dealing with, somebody's going to have to gather up the strength to bring something forward. Somebody maybe is afraid of being vulnerable, because the Strength card does speak of vulnerability as well, because there's a lot of strength in vulnerability. Somebody is likely feeling very defensive and afraid of sharing their emotions, especially with the Moon and Eight of Swords card here. This could be because of the past, something that may have happened in the past. This could be because of childhood wounds. And what's going on here is at the end of this breakthrough, somebody wants to bring an investment of some sort. This could be time, energy, or money. And this person or you is searching for stability. Four of Wands, 1111 here. This for some of you, this could be twin flame, but let's not get caught up with the titles. I've been there before. That it doesn't help. It doesn't help. Four of Wands is about stability and the happy family. Well, the happy couple, really, because it's not the family yet. It's not the Ten of Cups or the Ten of Pentacles, but it is a union and happiness and marriage. With the Seven of Pentacles, though, there's a need for waiting, more patience. Patience is coming through very strongly here. There's a sense of patience. But with the Five of Swords, again, this is the second time this has come out in the reading. I was trying to figure out what this Five of Swords meant. It looks like somebody has to... I think I get it. Okay, there's some sort of pattern about indecision. There's some sort of pattern about indecision here with the Two of Pentacles. It's almost as if this person has been juggling ideas, juggling knowing. And the reason I say knowing is because we have two cards of contemplation and inner knowing here with the Four of Swords and the High Priestess. There is a need for contemplation and rest. And there's a need for somebody to utilize their intuition to know how to move forward in this connection. Queen of Swords came out of the bottom of the deck. We got the Lovers there too. Somebody may have made a decision to have a difficult conversation, or Ten of Swords, Lovers, Five of Pentacles, Devil, Hierophant. Okay. With the Ten of Swords here, and the Queen of Swords is at the bottom of the deck again. With the Ten of Swords here, there was some sort of painful ending between you and likely a person, or some sort of painful ending that happened for you. We have the Lovers. This is likely because somebody made a decision, some sort of soulmate maybe made a decision. Or keep in mind, guys, if this hasn't happened yet, this is future energy here. We have the Five of Pentacles. Somebody decided to choose to leave somebody out in the cold, abandon them. There was a sense of loss here, most definitely. And this may have been because of codependent behaviors with the Devil here. This does speak of codependency. Somebody may have had some sort of toxicity or toxic pattern, or there was a need to control things, or maybe somebody has hidden vices. And then with the Hierophant card here, this card speaks of structure, of stability as well, in spiritual in nature, benevolence. Somebody is having, I don't know where that came from, somebody's having a spiritual awakening of some sort. And somebody is having a sense of clarity regarding a situation. about toxic patterns that may have stemmed from childhood. These ideologies, these belief systems that have been ingrained deep within the subconscious with the moon here. There's a sense of realization about recurring patterns. Very interesting reading. Whoa. Okay. Now, once this happens, if this isn't you, or it's likely you two are mirroring each other, if you're dealing with the soulmate connection. But look at you guys. This is what's coming up after this. This is all heavy. And dude, spiritual lessons, man, they tend to be on the heavy side. I'm sorry to have to break the news to you. If you guys haven't been on this journey for very long, I've only been on this journey for like truly spiritually awakened, like awake, like my ass is woke. Okay, as of like what was it, February of 2020. What are we in, June 21st now? Yeah, it's only been 4 months for me. So guess what? I'm still figuring stuff out myself, but I feel the need to share my story and share these stories with you and my knowledge. I spent a lot of my life learning things. I've always been a jack of all trades. I didn't know what my passion was, guys. I had no idea what the hell I was doing with my life because I was living an unconscious life. And then I found it. It was almost as if you've always had a fascination with the tarot. Why did you never pursue it? My first tarot deck I owned when I was like 19. I'm 29 now, for some of you guys who are wondering. And it was like, of course, self-victimization. I thought, I'm not good enough for this. I can't do this. I don't know how to read the cards well. I don't know. Interestingly enough, I can read the cards for other people, but sometimes I can't read them for myself. But okay, we have a few cards here that came out that I want to share with you. We have Trust Your Vibes. Thank you, angels. Today I choose to trust my intuition and your guidance. Powerful there. Powerful card. Once again, intuition is incredibly important. We have the High Priestess and we have the Moon here on the table, which does speak of intuition, an intuitive, deep knowing. When you guys have a knowing, follow that knowing. Don't ignore it, because it's there for a reason. The heart actually receives information before your brain did. I don't know if you guys knew that. It picks things up long before your brain does. Oh, not long before. It's like I think it's a few seconds. Maybe milliseconds. I'll have to look into that. But there was a study done about that. The heart it has a brain of its own. I don't know if you guys knew that either. It has its own electromagnetic field. Speaking of healing, we have, thank you, Raphael, for shining your divine light upon my healthy body, the divine physician. So a lot of you are being guided right now by Archangel Raphael, and he's trying to heal you through this. And likely this connection is actually very healing for you, and you're not even aware of it, because you know the heavier energies of the 3D of our 3D reality here doesn't allow us to see what's going on in the 5D. This connection is very healing on the 5D. I'm getting there's patterns and thought patterns, behaviors, emotions that are being cleared out that no longer serve you too, and Raphael is actually working very closely with you. And then the last card here is incredibly powerful. You have Archangel Michael coming through. Interestingly enough, I was working with him earlier this morning, and I got chills because it's almost as if I could feel his presence. And it says here, you are protected. Thank you, Michael, for surrounding me with your protective light. For those of you who don't know, it's very important for you to protect your energetic field. It's very important for you to clear out any energies around you that you don't necessarily have the awareness of. But call upon Archangel Michael. There's several different exercises you can do. I usually just ask him to protect me with his blue light, and I kind of just envision this character here, if you will, sending blue light, this colored blue light around and entering my body and surrounding me, and that usually does actually bring me a sense of ease. So, you guys, wow, I'm getting chills right now because there's just you're on the brink of a breakthrough, and it seems like this breakthrough gets closer and closer with each day that's coming. I wouldn't doubt it that within the next, I heard 3 weeks, 4 weeks, you guys are going to be seeing some massive changes, changes. Some of you may be picking up some synchronicity, some numbers. Yeah. I don't know if something is telling me there's one more message that needs to come out. I think I'm going to use the Spirit Animal Oracle deck here, or the Animal Spirit Oracle. I don't know which the name of it is. But you guys, if you're enjoying this content, please do hit the like and subscribe button. It really does help the channel out with its growth. And it allows me to reach more people who are just like you, who are looking for just a little more clarity. People who need illumination around certain subjects in their life, things that they don't understand. That's why I'm here, to help you guys out through this. Now, I will say the tarot is an excellent tool, but at the end of the day, all of the answers lie within. Have you ever wondered why it is that there are certain stories that just click whenever you get that feeling of inner knowing with the tarot? It's because the knowledge was inside of you and the cards triggered it. So I just want to let you guys know that you're more powerful than you believe. Okay. Wow. Okay. So I guess 3 cards wanted to come out. I was only going to ask for 1, but we have Freedom is Yours, Horse Spirit at the bottom of the deck. Bottom of that, we have Take a Leap of Faith. We did get the Fool card earlier. So there is a need for taking a leap of faith. Look at this. Lion Spirit, be generous of spirit. There is a need for you to open yourself up and allow this abundance to flow through you. Be generous to people. Be generous to the people around you. Exchange compassion. Be compassionate to those around you. If you've had a falling out with somebody, open your heart up to compassion, because this is going to help heal you and that person. With the Whale Spirit here, it says, trust the great mystery. A lot of you have been feeling that sense of being lost, maybe not seeing the bigger picture. This number adds up to 11, by the way. And then we have Rabbit Spirit. Now is a lucky time. So you may not be seeing this happening right now, but it's coming. It's coming. There's a sense of, yeah, I don't know why I had heard 3 to 4 weeks. For some of you, of course, take whatever resonates here, but I was getting 3 or 4 weeks likely for some of you, where things are going to start picking up very rapidly. I'm trying to see if I'm picking up anything else here. Compassion. I'm just getting a lot of compassion. That's what the Strength card is also about too. So guys, there are some massive changes coming into your life. There's just a sense of there's an opportunity here for somebody, but there's a need for the defensiveness and the victim mentality to go away in order to allow these blessings to come into your life. Okay. So I just want to thank you so much for watching. I'm sending you much love and light. Take care.